All right, so Lydia says red squirrels are known to make holes in the bark of sugar maple trees and to consume the tree sap. Since sugar maple sap is essentially water with a small concentration of sugar, the squirrels almost certainly are either water. The squirrels are either after water or sugar. So we're saying like red squirrels do this thing, and since the tree sap is made up of water with a little bit of sugar, they're trying to assume that these red squirrels are either after the water or the sugar. Water is easily available from other sources in places where maple trees grow, so the squirrels would not go to the trouble of chewing holes in trees just to get the water. Therefore, they are probably after the sugar. All right, so Lydia's saying, like, hey, they're either after the sugar or the water. Why would they go through all this work to get water when there's this other thing, or when there's other places they could get water easily? So clearly, they're after the sugar. And then Galena responds, it must be something other than sugar because the concentration of sugar in the maple sap is so low that the squirrel would need to drink an enormous amount of sap to get any significant amount of sugar. So Galena then responds by saying, hey, it must be something other than the sugar because it would take so much more in order for them to actually get a significant amount of um, sugar in it. So then Lydia's argument proceeds by, so my prediction here is that um, she kind of like raises doubt, or she kind of puts into perspective the reasoning that Lydia uses in her argument. Um, so A, does she dismiss potentially disconfirming data? No, like we're not dismissing anything that's like potentially disconfirming. We're like no, that's not it. B, setting a general rule of which the conclusion is a specific instance. We're not citing a general rule and then say like, and our conclusion falls into that rule. So it's not B. C says presenting an observed action as part of a larger pattern of behavior. Presenting an observed action. We don't present an observed action and we don't say it's a larger behavior because we're just saying that we're trying to we're trying to show that, hey, it's probably something else because what you suggested really doesn't make sense or it's not really probable. D says drawing an analogy between a well-known thing and an unexplained thing. No, we don't use an analogy. And then E says rejecting a possible alternative explanation for an observed phenomenon. Yes, we do reject. So our possible alternative explanation is that the squirrels are after the sugar, and we are rejecting that. And so that's why our answer is going to be E.